It's pronounced Jordan. That is the name of the segment. Bum, bum, bum. Eagle attacks and all.
Eagle attacks.
Man, that was good stuff. Eagle attacking that's solid. I like that.
You don't remember, so you didn't recall anything? Nobody? Anything about that?
About the eagle attacking?
Yeah.
Never heard it. Never heard it once. And now I know. It's etched into my brain.
Hopefully we'll have, I don't know. There's another incident waiting to happen.
I would love to find it.
Well, it'll never happen again. Well, I guess he could take off and fly into the crowd.
Yeah. No, well, PETA.
But, they take him out of the stadium after that, right?
Don't get me
He kind
started.
of wanders around, takes a few pictures, and then they take him on out of the
Yeah,
stadium.
they put him on a leash. They put him on a leash now, and he'll be on the person's arm walking around, and they'll do but he's on a lanyard of some sort. I guess.
Right. All right.
So
up
what
next?
Next on it's pronounced Jordan. Shifting gears.
Right. This is going to be one of the most, one of the more recent ones. This is 93.
Wow.
From
that's
the 93
practically
season.
That's practically
20 years ago. I guess.
common day. I mean, that's.
It feels new.
Well, sure it does. Compared to, all your stuff is like
11
74.
Right. Exactly. Right.
All right. So 93.
93. Now I always talk about it. One of the reasons I love Auburn is, for me, I guess as a kid, like the absent-minded professor movies really did something to me. and it just, that was what college was to me. Like college teams and the rah-rah and everything.
You're talking the original absent-minded professor.
Right. And then we hit something to Flubber, and we got the comeback kids.
Oh, yeah.
In Auburn's Midfield, exactly.
Absolutely.
Bama's Rutland, the big, and Auburn, has these great. Anyway. So I always say, Disney, and God knows how many times I've said, reference or use the word Disney and to describe Auburn, on the World Reader. .com. But
shameless plug.
And of all the, I don't know, kind of stories that you hear about this, and life in the loveliest village and Technicolor glory and all this stuff, the one that really just kind of rings of that, even though once again not that long ago, is the. In 93, we had this incredible punter, right? One of my fave of all time. All other Auburn punters
Terry
are measured.
Daniel.
That's the one.
Terry Daniel
from Valley.
Led. Is that where you're from?
Yes.
He came in. He was one of my favorite players, and I was working at a Walmart photo lab several years back. And he
did they make a movie about
yesterday.
That? All right.
And he
or yesterday, one of the two.
Anyway, and he totally came in, and I was like, and I'm looking through, oh my God, these photos. I'm looking at Terry Daniel's private life.
I knew they did that. I knew they did that.
Don't listen to that, Terry.
Okay.
I didn't.
Of course not.
I only took. It was a blurry ones. I didn't shred them.
Wow.
No.
Scary.
Anyway.
Okay.
You told me.
All right. So 93. Easy. Wow.
Check out our eBay account. It's So Terry led the nation that year, I think. Pretty sure. 48.3 yard average, or at least he was at the time of this incident that was going on. So basically, we play Mississippi State, and so we win every game. So of course we beat Mississippi State, right? And so and Terry's just boomed them, as he often did all the time. And so at the end of the game, halfway through the game or something, Cheryl said something.
This would be Jackie Sherrill, coach of Mississippi State.
Cow castrator Jackie Sherrill.
Absolutely.
Did it?
I'm sorry.
Bull castrator.
Bull castrator.
He did what? Tell me this.
For Mississippi State played University of Texas one year to get his guys fired up. He brought a bull out there on the field and castrated it.
That would have the opposite effect on me. It just straight would. I mean, there's no getting around it.
I'm with you.
I mean, unless he just
you want to talk about.
And unless he didn't use an instrument, you know what I mean? It was bare hands or something like that.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, what was psychologically?
A lot of torque in your grip if you can make that happen. Isn't it?
Psychologically, what is he thinking?
The corner office is freaking out. Oh my gosh! All right, okay. Jackie Sherrill was weird. Moving on.
Right.
You wanted to talk about it.
Well,
I just had never heard that.
That's just one example, right? And so he's going along, and apparently for the Mississippi Auburn game this year, the cow castration didn't work, and the guys weren't playing that well.
Okay.
And so And so he decided to, instead of, blaming it on his own freakish coaching, like style, to blame Auburn, he said that we were pumping the balls with helium.
I remember that. Now, I do remember that.
There you go, right. He said we were putting, like flubberizing the ball. And that's where that's where that comes in. And so that's why it sounds, you know what I mean? Like, because in, Son of Flubber, they're losing and it's terrible, and finally Biff comes back in and he juices the ball with Flubber. No. First the idea was to he filled the uniform, and then the guy's like, oh, you can throw the guy and everything.
That was in black and white, wasn't it?
What was the one?
Right.
What was the one with
Son
the
of Flubber was
what was the one with the baseball? And I want to say it was like Don Knotts or something, and they put something crazy on the baseball, and it just made it do all kinds of squirrely.
I don't know. But
was that a Flubber?
Awesome. No, I don't think it was in the Flubber
Disney movie
series.
I'm sure it was a Disney movie. Disney movies are all about cheating and getting away with it. And then the magic wears off at the very end, and you got to come up and do it on your own.
Right.
And you always do. And so the moral of the story is cheat to get to the finals, and then you'll win. That's the moral of Disney in a nutshell. That's it.
It's like Teen Wolf.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so but in the Son of Flubber, so the magic wore off and the suit exploded, but then they kicked like a 90-yard field goal because it was full of flubber gas, not actual flubber gas. And anyway, and so
Jackie
Sherrill is saying because he's just booming it, and the SEC confiscated the thing. Right, and so at the next game they confiscated the football Auburn was using in Florida because Terry kicked a 55-yard punt, and then they took the ball. Well, the ball after that he kicked a 71-yard punt, I guess, and which was the longest in the SEC, up to that point. Not that year and everything up to that point.
Wow.
Anyway, so, he's accusing us of doing this, and, Terry's like, what in the world? Both of them, Bowden and Daniels, are like, we're not putting helium in the ball and everything. And, he's like, Terry's like, I haven't inflated any balls with helium. At first I thought it was a joke, but when I had one of the coaches tell me the ball had been sent to the SEC, I was kind of surprised. And then he also accused Stan White of them underinflating the ball.
To make it easier.
Which would have hurt the kick, like Sherrill's just pulling anything out, that he can. And so they send it to the lab and everything, right? They send it and they find out that it's, no foreign substances have been found, but they actually investigated this claim and everything.
Where do you send? Where does you send it to a crime lab?
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I want to know.
What are they doing that when they get it?
Is it marked for evidence?
No, here it is. SEC investigation has no gas, professor says. Auburn.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, and then
I think many SEC investigations are full of gas.
Well,
if you ask me.
The thing was,
just my opinion.
The thing was, though, is if he'd been doing this, the professor Stephen Knowlton, don't know if he's still here, wasn't surprised by the SEC non-action, saying helium won't make a football travel any higher or farther than a normal football because the difference in weight between air and helium is insignificant. And I've got to wonder what those Mississippi State physicists are teaching their students.
Thank you very much.
Right. Yeah, and
wow.
And there was actually an episode of Mythbusters about not specific to this case, though. If they'd known about it, I'm sure they would have played it up.
I'm sure this is what started
but
it.
It could have been, right? Because in 2006 there was an episode, and so they're pumping the thing with helium, and they actually found that it didn't make any difference, and then sometimes it actually hurt the distance or whatever, whatever they were testing of the thing. And anyway, so yeah,
that is the funniest thing.
Now Sherrill actually, after all this, went down, he actually claims that no, I never actually said this. I just said that they weren't using legal balls, that they weren't to regulation or anything, which is weird. But just because I don't know, the findings say no, unusual substance. Well, why would they be checking? You know what I mean, for substances? I don't know. What can you do to a football to make it? I mean, I don't know. Can you do anything to make it? To improve the game? It's not basic. You can't spitball a football or anything.
No. Well, I mean, here's the thing.
I mean, the
almost anything you do to a football is going to make it harder to do. If a ball gets wet, it's harder to throw and catch. If it gets cold, it's harder to kick.
What if it's underinflated?
If it's underinflated,
it was supposedly they said underinflated, making for the receivers
easier
to
catch.
Easy.
There's a routine. About balls. If you watch the games, the logistics of the games,
right.
You've got each team has a couple of ball boys on both sides of the field. So, there'll be a couple of the opponent's ball boys on Auburn sidelines.
Yeah, that always weirds me out.
And they are always exchanging balls. They never hardly ever use the same ball play after play.
Right.
I know on kickoffs the kicker usually brings a ball onto the field for the kickoff,
Right.
and then they throw it back off the field. My guess is that's some kind of special ball that he has an affinity for that he kicks. I don't really know if they do that with punting or not.
That would
today,
be,
but they do that with kicking.
I would love to get a line on what the because
Your research should take you over to the football office, to the manager, and find out what the routine.
you know
is
who you
with
need.
balls.
You need to talk to Dana.
Dana.
Dana's the head equipment manager.
Get her on the phone.
It's a he.
Oh.
That just happened.
Get him on the
Can I
phone,
start
too.
over again?
Yeah. What?
And he's very nice.
Ron?
We go to church together.
He's,
Ron was halfway.
I'm sure he's a
Here's
great
my goal.
guy.
Here is my goal.
I'm sure he's-
Here is my goal for every episode of It's Pronounced Jordan. I would like for some foreign substance to shoot out of Ron's nose. And I think that we
Well, I didn't know.
I
didn't
think we
I didn't know.
yes, Dana Marquez. He's
love
a
you, Dana.
very very nice guy.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, I hope he is.
Very very nice guy. He might beat you up, but he's
Well,
wow.
so all
right.
Well, there's a little addendum.
All right,
here
give
to
us
this
the
thing.
addendum.
Well, so it was kind of like, well, what is his secret power? How does he kick these balls? So anyway, so Scott Etheridge, another great kicker. He told Sports Illustrated.
Well, he was the field goal kicker on that team.
right. Place kick, right. And then
Kicked the field goal to beat Florida that year.
Yeah, long snapper was named Brian Brinsfield. Brainsworth Brinsfield. And so Etheridge told Sports Illustrated that Terry's punts are the product of his giant butt.
What?
That's what he said.
He said that in Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, that's what he said. In that special little issue, that came out that we were all so proud of until, now we forgot about. Well, I haven't forgotten about it. What am I saying?
It had Ace Atkins on
Ace
the cover.
Atkins,
Sacking
killing,
Hollingsworth.
No, not Hollingsworth.
Warfel.
Wofford.
Danny
Warfel.
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 Or Wofford.
Dana.
It's a school. She doesn't mind. All right,
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, and then
Clemson,
and then
Emily Blake.
He kept
what
going.
else? Beale Street. Can we throw out all the mistakes that we've made? All right.
Then he keeps going about this.
All right, I wanna hear-
the butt thing, because and then he says that Brinsfield that has the best butt in college football, and then he said that Terry doesn't even know what helium is. He thinks it's a town in Alabama.
Nice. Oh, that's just
Etheridge, he just didn't quit.
that is just priceless.
Yeah.
Etheridge has done real well for himself.
Oh,
What's
my
he doing?
goodness.
He's like a
Proctor.
Oh,
Well, I'm
oh,
just
he's a
saying.
CFO of
Wow.
something. He's anyway. He's
Oh,
done real well
boy.
for
Good.
himself.
No, I would imagine. He was a
Great.
great warrior.
and speaker apparently.
Etheridge. Isn't that the
Yeah.
Jim Fife thing?
Oh wow.
Etheridge.
Etheridge. I don't know.
Sure it was.
it is.
Sure it was.
Etheridge.
He said his name once or twice.
Well,
Etheridge. There's some clip I remember just going,
Oh boy.
Anyway.
Jeremy Henderson, the War Eagle reader. You can listen online. More of the drive after
War
this.
Eagle Dana.